The following is a presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. Well, hello and good evening, everyone. It is Thursday, December 7th, 2023. Welcome to the only show about Spartan Dawgs, hosted by Spartan Dawgs. This is Sparta MSU. I'm your host, Jason Strayhorn, along with my co-host. The boss is here, Otis Wiley and Jehuu Caulcrick. There he is. If this is your first time joining us, we really want to welcome you to the show. And if this is not, we appreciate you beyond words. Don't forget to hit your like and subscribe buttons and follow us on all of our social media platforms at This is Sparta MSU. Let us know where you're watching from, too. The chat is bumping right now, fellas. Otis, welcome. How you been, man?
I've been good, brother. Blessed. Highly favored. Let's start that way. Set the tone right.
I love the hoodie.
Good, man. Been missing. Been missing my boys, man. It's been a minute since all three of us been in one room here.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
so,
in the upper room.
The upper room.
Man, look, we got a lot to talk about, guys. You know, since it's been a while since all three of us has been on the show. So we got to get to the topic that everybody wants to hear about right now, and that's the transfer portal. Chew?
Yeah, before we jump into that, let me check something real quick here, so I'm not stepping on.
Are you about to check that highlight reel that the Blue Wall folks start talking to us about?
No, I'm checking the rundown here, so we don't have it somewhere else, and I'm not stepping on any toes here. But I want to say, Happy Pearl Harbor Day. It's today, December 7th. You know, that's something that's really special. I know we got a lot of people, you know, Tom Story, he's in the Navy. He told me a great story about that, how, you know, he had an opportunity to go to Pearl Harbor, you know, in his Navy dressed whites and seeing Pearl Harbor from a different angle and a different view. I think that's something that's really cool. I had an opportunity to go to Pearl Harbor. It was my freshman year in college when we went to Hawaii and we played at Hawaii. And so we got to go and we tour, you know, all of that stuff there. So really want to give a shout out, for the Navy, you know, Pearl Harbor Day today. Big shout out to that and everyone that served in the military. And this weekend, like I said, go Navy, beat Army, baby.
Fitting on Pearl Harbor Day. You know, I mean, you got to give love to all armed forces and the men and women of those specific chapters of the branches of the armed forces. Look, that was a huge thing. I was there as well with Michigan State football.
Yeah, you were working the sidelines.
No, I was not at that game. I'm talking about as a player at the Aloha Bowl. Okay. This is, you know, eons ago. You know, you guys just had that Similac and them pacifiers and all that. I was in Honolulu.
Wait, they ain't let you travel to Hawaii to do the sideline?
I wasn't on. No, I didn't start. That was before. That was before I started.
You became 05, right?
I came in 6.
06.
No, that was last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I missed that. You know, and haven't been back. Otis, can you talk to somebody about scheduling that? I know we're going West Coast.
No, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there.
That budget already.
It's not good, huh?
Yeah,
no.
Those locals don't like us.
Hey, save now. Save now before that Oregon trip. Right now, you better save.
Right.
Oregon is a long way away, but you know, Honolulu and the Pearl Harbor exhibit was just breathtaking, you know, and you've seen movies depicting what's going on. I love the old film. They actually had film of that as it was going on. So the black and white 8mm stuff, man, like that's always interesting to me to see the history of where we've been and those brave men and women, as we said, of the armed forces. I mean, there's a reason why we're here, able to do this.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Speaking of that, we got Woody Carr, who's in Honolulu watching us right now. So, hey,
Okay.
can't be mad at that. I know they're watching
mad
this in a lot of places right now. I see little Ferndale. I see Detroit's always
Who's
in the house.
Ferndale?
Look, LA. Look at that. So look, it's only 60 out here in LA. This is fact.
Who's in Ferndale?
Who's in Ferndale?
Detroit, Louisiana, the boot baby.
A boot, baby.
Oh yeah, all kinds of great people. Welcome to everybody in the Spartan family, and as we said, special thanks to the men and women of the armed forces. Transfer portal news. These are the updates where we're going right now. So Darius Snow made a statement last night, a heavy written statement that basically said, you know what, it's been rough, but I got my head together and we coming on back. So he's going to be back in the green and white. The Snowman is back.
Yeah, D Snow, man, welcome back. Clearly, legacy guy that obviously has earned the green and white, like through and through. It's definitely paid the price through his body, obviously, and the injuries, but clear mind. He has, healthy. Can't wait to see, obviously, him in the new system. I know we're going to talk news about potential possibly D coordinator news, but for him to give Coach Smith and the regime an opportunity to one, be able to play ball, because when football is removed and taken from you due to injury, it's like you got to find new avenues and ways to kind of cope, right? And it's tough to watch guys play and compete, and you worked your tail off in the offseason and get to a healthy Darius Snow, and so good kudos for coming back, because we need leadership. We need that leadership, and when he's healthy, this guy's a dog. So I'm glad D Snow is back in green and white.
Absolutely. Chew?
Yeah, I'm glad to have him back. I think we're going to start seeing more of this. I think a lot of the guys that jumped in the portal, I think now they're going to have an opportunity to sit with the coaches. Now that everything's settled down, they're going to sit with the coaches, figure out their schemes, figure out what they have for them and where they can be placed. And I think you'll see a couple more guys, put statements out there that they're coming back to finish what they started at Michigan State. So, I'm glad that Darius Snow is coming back. I think he's a hell of a player, a guy, a true leader, a guy who's embraced his NIL I think looking at everyone with NIL, he's doing it for like the good way to set himself up for the future, working with Harvard and all that stuff. But I think you're going to see more and more guys that's going to come back from withdraw their names from the portal. But the question to you guys is this: is it a change in generation? Could we not reiterate those words? Like, you see these statements that go out there, like those are profoundly written statements.
Right.
Back in our day, did we come up with that, or we just say, I'm coming back?
Well, you're talking about a kid who's a 4.0 student now.
Or you can be a 4.0 student, but like your emotion going into things like that, all these things that you see out there, these commitment things, these transfer things, the wording and everything. Who's writing these things is what I want to know.
It's
I know it's the AP format is perfect.
Two
letters.
Chat GPT?
AI.
Change the world. Right. Yeah. Or just do the Michael Jordan statement. I'm back.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, hey, all flurries long, I'm back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's snow flurries all season long, I'm back.
Right.
Hey, look, it's a different day and age, man. I mean, this is part of it. And guys are going to have you see the commitment videos and all the stuff that goes along with that. Now, guys are able to say goodbye, hello, goodbye, over and over again. And if you master that, because this is a part of it, one thing that you can't forget, that this is an entertainment business. Right. Sports aren't real life, like in that aspect where you got to do the things that we've all been taught. It is in entertainment at the end of the day. So We're seeing that over in Boulder, Colorado, obviously. But guys, more transfer news. Offensive tackle Spencer Brown headed to Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner for Spencer Brown.
And
Yeah,
what do you call you, Stray? Oh, he call you OG, don't he? He be like, OG.
All of them do.
They all do, right?
I'm OG. Yeah,
OG.
Go ahead, OG, I get it all.
I had a bunch of people that obviously I have some people associated with the Sooner program in Oklahoma, and a lot of them reached out to me and said, "Hey, this guy come from Michigan State. We lost, Oklahoma on their offensive line. They lost 3 or 4 linemen to the transfer portal and to the NFL. It's like, is this guy a plug and play guy? Is this guy someone that can come in and help us right away?" My answer to them was, you got to talk to Jason Strayhorn. He's the offensive line whisperer. He's the one that can really break that down for you. I truly don't have an answer. I don't know. Was it the coaching? Was it the system that he was in for an offensive lineman? Stray, I think you can speak more to that, with offensive linemen. And you, just like in the skilled position, it's that system that you're put in that's good for you. But, for the offensive line nowadays, you see the transition of offensive linemen that's come and gone in the league. Back in my day, back in your day, Stray, you saw everyone getting in a 3-point stance, getting out. Nowadays, you see people and everything run. They run plays. They're in the 2-point stance, pass plays. They're in the 2-point stance. So I don't know, so I can't really rate and judge old linemen right now. So I told those people, and you got to talk to Stray.
Is that you asking me? What'd you say, O?
I said, we know Spencer is an athlete, though. I think there's an element there. Like, he is an athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who prefers him? And I feel like to the point of we never really got a chance to see, like, him shine because of the woes, the collective offensive woes. Like, I think just kind of was like, did he hold his own a couple times, or was just all we don't know if it was all bad or what. We know it's like dude.
I'll say this: it's like the secondary, right? Sometimes when you see somebody getting burnt, you're like, man, but as a defensive back, that it's not always that guy that's trailing's fault, right? It's not always that. But offensive line, I think as a tackle, everyone sees them, right? And so if you're doing really good, like Tony Mandarich good, it's magnified. But, when you're playing and you're doing a solid job, you don't really know it. But if you make one mistake, everyone knows that was you. And you talk about Oklahoma, and the coach there, Bill Bendenbaugh, one of the best offensive line coaches in the country now.
Right.
When you talk about sought after and all that, like, we talk about Stoutland and all. This guy, look, when players evaluate schools to play for, the position coach is paramount in that. And if you are a high level player, you look, for 3 letters in the bio, like how many guys did they get to the NFL? Now, when you talk about Bill Bendenbaugh, this is a guy. I mean, he's got like $1 billion in contracts in the NFL currently right now. Like there's a lot of Sooners playing offensive line. And that was the pitch. Now, you're talking about a coach that knows what he's looking at. I saw this out of Spencer. When they had to move him to the left side, he's been a right tackle pretty much all of his career, had the great game down in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. That was coming out party. I think he hurt one of the players over there. I mean, he's a dog. Like, he's very physical, athletic. Was a basketball player in his youth and then has put on the weight. But, I mean, he carries 310, 315 very, very well. So if you talk about a guy who can put on 10, 15 more pounds, when we moved him to the left side, he was way better. I thought that he was more of a natural left tackle. That's his frame, his athletic ability, his striking, all those things. I mean, he was very comfortable on the left side. And I guarantee you that's what Bendenbaugh saw. He saw that, and he knows what to do with it. You talk about guys like Orlando Brown Jr., who's, I think he's with the Chiefs, or he's making a lot of money, wherever he's at, because this is a guy that came right out of this system. And Spencer actually looks better than him. And that was a guy who I think went in the late first round. But look, so I can get into the minutia. That can be boring. But the proof's in the pudding. You're right. I think they graduated a couple guys or 2 players to the NFL, and then somebody went in the portal. So yeah, they're counting on him to be a plug and play.
Right.
So we'll see. I mean, they're going to the SEC next year too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So why is their quarterback in the portal too, though? Is a question.
Their quarterback?
They got another guy that's coming in.
Yeah.
There's another quarterback that's coming in that's supposed to be like the cat's meow. That's the kid.
I mean, every year I think all the quarterbacks are going into the portal.
That's crazy, man.
Talking about
you
Dylan
started
Gabriel
all season, and you because this guy, you just giving this guy like he's better already. Like that's the I'm
Dylan Gabriel. Like the thing too that people need to realize for quarterbacks jumping in the portal, it's also the fan base drives quarterbacks away as well. Dylan Gabriel was the starter. He did a very good job for OU there, but the message coming out of OU all the time, talking to those guys, hey, Dylan, I'll be talking to my buddy, Dylan's he's a good quarterback. He's a good placeholder. He's a good game manager. He's that kind of thing. And that stuff gets on players as well. So, speaking overall, like for any school, like if someone's dogging their own players, that also drives players out of the program as well. So that's why you have, a started quarterback like Dylan Gabriel, who had a really good season, beat Texas in a Red River shootout,
balling, by the way, like
and now he's in the portal because their fan base, they liked him, they didn't love him. And that can drive players out of a program as well.
And you think
too much of that Caleb Williams.
You're right. I'm like Lincoln Riley, like, hey man, go ahead, bro. Caleb gonna go to the league, so we'll make you a Heisman candidate.
This is true. I mean, that's what everybody wants, and that's what Lincoln Riley hangs his hat on. He just sells Heisman trophies and first picks in the draft. That's what he does. Look, this portal thing is getting crazier. I think I agree with you, Chu, that there's going to be a lot of players who've gone in there more as maybe a protection, going in early as insurance in case the staff doesn't have plans for me. So they want to get a jump on it and make sure that, if there's a place to get, because it's musical chairs. Let's face it, like there's only so many spots that are open. And so the amount of guys that go in don't necessarily all get a place. We know that because there is an influx of new players coming in and recruiting, normal high school recruiting. So, roster management. That's a new position. Never existed when we play ever.
Right.
Now, I mean, that's one of the most important positions in an organization. Guys, Aiden Chiles, quarterback from Oregon State, who is in the transfer portal, has set his official visit for this weekend here in East Lansing.
No, I think that's something that's absolutely that's a terrific thing right now because obviously we saw Katenhauser jumped in the portal, Sam Levitt jumped in the portal, Noah Kim jumped in the portal. Right now, Michigan State has 0 scholarship quarterbacks in there, and Aiden Chiles, I think he's one of those quarterbacks that I feel truly makes a defense has to play 11-on-11 football because of the way that he plays the game, the way that he's a dual threat quarterback. He can run the football, he can pass the football, all those things. And so he's a true dual threat quarterback. I think he's going to be a great player in the Michigan State system.
Yeah, look, I'm just hoping that we got a nice weekend set up from like events wise, where he's going to be able to see just the atmosphere of support, like of Michigan State sport fandom. Like you got women's basketball Saturday, you got hockey on night that evening, and we're playing Notre Dame. So you're going to be able to see some of this goodness that happens on campus. But for Aiden, I mean, he's in a great spot of like, man, like you are right now, you are the guy, regardless of like you come here, we don't have any, like you said, scholarship quarterbacks, and you already know the system. So you're able to be another coach to help the current players and offensive roster to help get it and understand it quickly. Because that's really what it's going to take is we got to hit the ground running and learning the system and be able to be execute this in the spring, get all the kinks out, and be ready for fall. And so him being another additional offensive mindset being in that system, it helps Coach Smith get a leg up right away.
You know, I'm going to jump in here real quick because, Otis, you said something that really struck, especially from the offensive side of things, because he's a guy that's going to be an extra coach. He's been in that system with the Oregon State Beavers offensive coordinator and Coach Smith. So that is something, too, that people need to realize how important that is, because a coach can be in the film room and talking, hey, you know, you have this post route. When you run, you go and you stick your foot, you know, you stick that at 10 and break at 12, you know, all those things. But a player can break that down in a different way. You know, a player can be on the field and communicate differently with his teammate, be like, hey, just go take that, stick that post, bend it like it's going to go, and we're going to connect on that, and it's going to hit a different way. So having that extra coach on the field that understands the offense, that's a huge plus. And that's why if I'm these receivers that are here at Michigan State, I'm taking a second approach to, like, do I want to hit this transfer portal? This guy has a control of this offense. He understands this offense as we're going to come in here, and we're going to have the opportunity to work with him in the winter. We're going to have the opportunity to work with him in the spring, in the fall, in the summer, and then in the fall, we can fire on all cylinders. He's going to be able to come and teach us these things. We don't need the coaches. We don't need to go. He can call us up and say, hey, let's meet in a weave. We're going to do routes and go through all the progressions, all those things. They have built-in on-field coach with Aiden Chiles coming in here. So that's why if I'm these receivers, I'm being like, do I want to go somewhere else and learn a new system, or can I learn a new system twice in one off season? You know, understand all these different facts, all these different things. So that is something that these receivers need to think about, and that is the big plus that Aiden Chiles bring with him. That's that extra advantage that he brings with him if he comes to Michigan State.
Well said, guys. I mean, that was one heck of a breakdown. I mean, Aiden Chiles, that was another huge positive for these receivers that are anybody's
quarterback.
He's young. I mean, he's extremely young. So he's coming in, but with experience and knows the language. So that's the biggest thing in translating from one offense to another. Any play, book, it's terminology.
When was the last time we had a true dual threat quarterback?
Stanton?
No. When I say Stanton was a guy, Stanton was remember, Drew's my guy. Drew's my boy. Drew's Drew was a scrambling. Drew was a scrambling quarterback.
Drew is the dude.
You know, like everything. Yeah. He had design runs and stuff. But Aiden Chiles, what I'm talking about when I say dual threat, I'm talking about you call a RPO, which they call run pass option. Some people call it a BOGO, buy one get one. So he's one of those players that they can have built in a run pass option. Hey, if the corner's playing off, you snap the ball, you can boom, throw it right out there to the receiver. If not, you read it, you ride the running back. If that D end crashes, you pull and you run out. But we're going to have on the other side another receiver out there too, that if that linebacker pops out in front, now you can dump it off over to that wide receiver, and he has blockers out there. Those are a lot of different things you can do with a quarterback like Aiden Chiles, and we have not had a quarterback that could do those things. So the playbook opens up tremendously with a guy like this, and if I'm an offensive player, I'm licking my chops. If I'm a running back, because the Otis, you know this better than anybody on this right now. If you play you play Juice Williams from Illinois, a guy that could do both, and then you have to worry about Rashad Mendenhall back there too.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, he's legit. Yeah, like I'm looking at a highlight. Like this is crazy. I'm looking at highlights now because like the ones that I picked that I'm gonna wait to like upload these, but to the point of you see his progression of like I want to just pass the rock clearly, but I'm gonna make the first down. Like he has that juice stand mentality of like we are going to get first downs. Like we're not gonna get in these situations where we got to rely on the arm. Like, well, if nothing's open, I'm going to scramble, look downfield, and I'm going to find you. Like you said, receivers, he will find you. If not, he's going to get a first down, and we're going to keep progressing down the field. So I'm excited to like at least a juice of a standpoint of knowing that he has a year under his belt with this system. And for Coach Smith in that squad and coordinator to get him, he's from California, right, Stray? Like to get him to come from Cali to Oregon State, that shows the confidence of recruiting, like from a standpoint. He could have went anywhere else. And he goes to Oregon State from Cali.
Or Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Long Beach.
They're bigger than they are in San Antonio.
Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
Charles Barkley, what's boy about to get?
Look, we haven't had a dynamic quarterback like this before. I know there's some people talking about Brian Lewerke was dual threat coming out of Arizona. Did take some shots and he had speed. There's no doubt about it. But you're talking about guys that kind of are in the mold of a Lamar Jackson and guys like that are like a Jaden Daniels is what comes to mind. You remember when he came into Spartan Stadium as an Arizona State quarterback? I can recall that. And we had trouble with him. Then, also him moving on to LSU, where now, I mean, man, he's going to New York. He'll be in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony. That's what Chu is talking about. It's difficult. It puts a lot of stress on the defense because you can't account for that quarterback running the rock. You're on mute.
Mama Tron's in here, so we count on you to seal the deal tomorrow, Mama Tron. I know y'all heading. 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. The visit starts. Man, it's great. Like they get new official visits and all. It's crazy. Look, this new world, college football is something else, man. I do want to go back to a point though. I mean, because Aiden is going to be, we're gonna be Aiden crazy around here because I just think that people gonna do what they're gonna do, right? I mean, I mean, it's in God's hands, absolutely. But I have all the confidence in the world that this man gonna make the right decision. Guys, there was a statement that James Wyndham made a couple of, it was about a few minutes back, and we were talking about that the quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Chu, when you said, when people get on him, then that can force him out. His comment, it was like, hey, what about guys being tougher and being able to take that when you're the man, you're going to have naysayers. What do you think about that statement?
Yeah, I think that's a very good statement, and it's a statement that we all right now. It's a lot easier for us to say because we're grown adults right now. We're not 18, 19, 20-year-old kids who has been the man when we were in high school. And, everyone looked to us, when times were tough in the game. Hey, give the ball to Chu, run behind Stray. Otis is going to get that pick to get us off the field, and then you go and you're playing in front of 60, 70, 80,000 people and they're cheering or booing you. There's a time that's a time and a place that it comes to, and it weighs on you. And just like everybody, you want to feel loved. You want to be somewhere that loves you, somewhere that embraces you through the ups and the downs. Yeah, you understand. You can deal with you throw a pick, you make a bad read, and people are like, man, that's a terrible throw, and then boo you here and there. But yes, but if you're winning games and then the fans are like, well, you're not winning by enough. You're no Baker Mayfield. You're no Sam Bradford. Those are the kind of things that weighs on you. It's like, well, I'm giving everything I have. Why should I, stay with a place that someone doesn't appreciate me. It's like dating a girl and you're doing everything you can for them. You're going to work, you're busting your ass, you're working, you're getting money, and you're going to, you're giving her money. Hey, go get you an outfit. And she's like, well, it's only $100. I can only get an outfit at Marshall's for this, as opposed to getting one at Saks Fifth Avenue. That's the thing. But like, why am I working hard to give you money? Those are the kind of things that go into it. And you have to go into the mind of we're adults. We can handle it right now. But if you're in that situation, when you're that age, it's a little different story.
It was Dylan Gabriel. Were they paying him? And did he have an NIL deal? Do you know?
He had an NIL deal, but not like he wasn't being paid like a starting quarterback in a Big 12 SEC. That's winning games. At that, beating your big rival,
right. He wasn't getting what his due.
Taking your team to a good bowl game, all those different things. Being a leader in the community, you're going to the school, reading to kids, and these kids are saying, "Why aren't you as good as Baker?" Shut up, kid.
I mean, there's a quote that Tony G put in our chat here for ourselves, and talked from Coach Sam Huff, who everyone, that was on the list for here, Michigan State, from Marshall. He says, talking about his quarterback, Cam Fancher, there isn't a lot of money for NIL, and fans hate him. The kid's been miserable.
Yeah.
When look, there's one thing that'll get the kid over that, I think, like you said, like he wasn't getting his just due. From what I hear, that won't be an issue here in East Lansing for Aiden Chiles. Just saying, guys. So, look, the debate.
But we say you better listen. You better produce though. Like you're making that bread, you better be some production because it's different now. Like this ain't just a full ride scholarship, and you ain't getting no differences. That's the element to choose.
Then you got to be able to take the criticism. You got to
take the criticism if you making money now. Like
Really you turn to a professional.
You're a pro.
Yeah. It's like I'm paying season tickets and premium seating to come see you ball out. You're making more than me. I got the right to say what I want to say. That I'm playing good. To a point.
If your ass can't get out there and run a 9 route, don't be yelling at me. If you can't catch a fade, don't come at me.
Right.
If we're at the 1, if we give you 4 chances and you can't score, don't come at me, Skip.
Right. Oh man, dude, look, dude. There's people in the chat talking about, there was a Spartan Mag gathering where people like put money in for this as part of the collective. I seen that and I heard about that, and we're gonna do a competition between Spartan Mag and this is Sparta MSU. See who can raise the most when it comes to that for those boys in the green and white. I don't know. That just came to mind. Oh, I know we didn't talk about that, but I'm sure you did.
Oh, look at
that. I'm sitting like, hey, straight, like reach in your pocket first. Who's gonna make it? Hey, I got a no pocket.
Yeah.
All that money that's raised from this Sparta MSU got to go get them Strayhorn boys.
No. They can't do that. Got to recuse ourselves.
Oh, damn. You got to recuse.
Got to recuse, man. You can't do that. You ain't going to be like Brett Favre up here taking all them people.
Oh, no. But James, to your point there, the Duckett brothers, we're going to have them on.
Yes.
He asked, what are the Duckett brothers doing? And I just, so it's a collective through this is the Charitable Gift of America. They're going to, it's NIL distribute for running backs. It's the running backs. So we can get some good running backs in here, keep good running backs in there, and maintain good running backs in Spartan, in the Spartan green and white. We're going to get Tico and TJ on the show in the next couple shows that we do to go more into details for that. But yeah, definitely that's another good one there.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're interactive. This is Sparta MSU.
Benjamin, I'm talking about running a route there. I know a lot of people in here can catch that fade though and throw that fade.
Throw that fade, catch that fade.
Yeah.
Look, the collection plate has been around. Sean, Steve, Man, y'all the best,
Hey,
man.
Sean need to go here and sell them ribs. You
Sean,
know,
get them ribs going there. That's what he needs
Yeah.
to do.
Best ribs in Detroit. I'm telling you, if you don't know, you better ask somebody.
Right.
Guys, look. So look, we have to move on to the next topic because I mean we're drilling down heavy on the transfer portal and everything that goes along with it. But new president has been announced. It's going to happen, I think, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Kevin Gusekowitz. I hope that's correct. North Carolina.
Kevin G. You say Kevin G. Warren, hey, the regulator.
Yeah, so he's moving from North Carolina, the Tar Heel Blue, over to the green and white.
And I feel like there should be an opportunity for him to write up his blurb on his social and say, "I'm hitting the president university portal."
Yeah.
I feel like somebody needs to put it together right now.
Always a Tar Heel.
Yep.
They need to put like, "I'm truly blessed to receive an offer from Michigan State after much consideration with my family, friends, talking to them. I think the best decision going forward is to don the green and white." But overall, no, I'm excited about that. I think it's good. I think now for Michigan State, it's a good thing to now start to have some stability, within the entire university. We went through a season of you didn't know who a football coach was, and then even higher up, you didn't know who the president was going to be. So I think that's something that's a big important hire for the university. Having Kevin come to lead the university, lead Michigan State to do great things, to continue down the path of greatness. So I want, that love, peace, tranquility, everything when he comes in. I want him to, come in with great ideas, innovative ideas that's going to propel the university to different heights, not just athletically, but academically as well. Put us on a map for doing great things. And when we have really good leaders that can have that mind's eye and have that direction of pushing the university to be outside the box thinkers. I know we do that with sports already, but let's do it on a grander stage of things. Let's be from all different things, especially with the way the world's going these days. Let's be the forefront at Michigan State University. And that's my hope for this new president, that can come in and be an innovative thinker, bring people together as opposed to pulling people apart, bring people together so we all work in the one direction of making Michigan State University what we feel it is, a great, great institute.
Yeah, I think he's there's a couple things priority wise, like him, new president coming in, and I think it's obviously winning the hearts and winning the confidence back that we're not going to repeat the same things. I think that's a true leader is looking at what was done in the past, good, bad, or indifferent, and state like, well, I'm going to put my own flavor to this, but I'm going to keep the true DNA of Michigan State University. But I'm also going to take us to the promised land. Like, we're not going to wander in I'm giving you a biblical term. We're not going to wander in the desert for 40 years and wait for somebody else to come in and find the promised land. Like, no, we're going to get there. And we're going to get there quickly. And also, the second priority was like revenue generation. Like, you have to consistently be the forefront of your mind is, how do I help generate revenue for this university? And how do I work hand in hand with athletics as a front porch to driving this revenue and truly be integrated in there? So I think there's going to be a good opportunity he's coming from UNC, clearly has seen how UNC has thrived with Chapel Hill and under his leadership, and coming in the Big Ten, the new Big Ten, the new conference alignment. There's a powerful presence in the new Big Ten. And so how do we fit in that? And academically, we have good things going, but we got to make sure he cleans it up and gets us back to the promised land.
Yeah, I mean, well said, man, by both of you, because we all know it's just been a power vacuum at Michigan State. When you look at, the several interim presidents that Michigan State had to go through, then you thought you found one, and now, back to interim again. It's refreshing, because in talking with people who around the university, I mean, this is a guy who has a lot of fundraising experience. He is very good in that and comfortable doing so. He does love sports, and I mean, these are things that you don't always get with presidents. Not to say they're not good. You have great presidents that just don't really get sports, don't care about it, and I mean, it's just kind of the nature of the beast. But when you look at the Big Ten and the footprint that it's now moving to, I think this is out of the park, grand slam hire when you look at the new president incoming from the University of North Carolina. Guys, like, when we look at the,
I guess Craig, let me add on to this, because I'll be remiss if we didn't. It's kind of the similar situation of how like interim and like Coach Barnett and then interim Teresa Woodruff, like she did an absolute fantastic job for what she was given.
Oh,
she's
absolutely.
Also we can't be remiss. She was very integrated with athletics. Like just this past game, like she's with the cheerleaders on the court, engaging with student bodies and groups. And so I feel like she brought back kind of the trust factor, leading us through these hard times of mass shooting and everything, hard times. And so we can't be remiss of giving her flowers of like managing that.
A phenomenal job.
A phenomenal job. So one, I know that she obviously probably wanted to and maybe lead this charge, but she's done a great job with what she was given. So kudos to her.
Teresa Woodruff, I mean, man, Madam President has been nothing but good to us and everyone that she's ever been around. It's unfortunate. I saw that she took her name out of consideration. I know there's all the talk, people, the board of trustees and all. Look, that's why we need to go through the process and find the person that's going to lead this university and can take control. This is obviously something that, to get a president like this, you have to have consensus on the board. When you are interim, it's different situation all the way around. So it's almost a terrible tag to have, almost like what happened with Harlan in this particular case, right? If you want to take over a team, most guys that take over teams only have like a game. They don't have 10 games. Because it's in the middle of a transfer portal era like that. There's no body that you can look back and say, oh, that coach went through that same thing. So that was completely uncharted territory, and things played out how they did, and it's just.
And look, she knew us by name.
Right.
She saw, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That is a powerful skill.
Yeah.
Like, not just say, I know, like, hey, what's your name again? Because you'll meet those people like, what's your name again? Multiple times. But for her, like from the start to know who was Jehuu, Jason, Otis, like for me, it was like a true like true leader, true Spartan love, the Midwest nice. That was all.
You know how intelligent Teresa Woodruff is? I mean, look, man, I heard the story. I was sitting in one of the, I think, a basketball game. We were outside at dinner. And her and her husband, and she was, I think he's like got 4 PhDs. But when they were dating, her father said that he's not smart enough for her. Like they were telling me this story, and she was like, "Yeah, that's true." Like it was a real thing. I said, "Wow, intelligence." I mean, great, warm. I mean, everything that you need. Moved over from the provost position to the presidential position. I hope that she's not gone forever here. I think she would, be an asset. She'll always be an asset to the university in any capacity. And it's never over, guys. It's never over. So until you say so. But that's
business.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, before we hit a break, though, I want to talk about Michigan State's Spartan graduation success. Otis, I'll let you take the lead here.
Yeah, I think this is the milestone to be celebrated because when you look at academics, we always joke where our coaches told us one thing about academics first, football second. We put up the different numbers in his hand. But to look at, can you pull up that graphic back up real quick? 81% all-time high 4-year federal graduation rate. Like 81% of our student athletes. But then you got 91% is just look at, there we go. 1% below the school's all-time high. We're breaking records. Yes, you win championships on the field, on the competitive court, or competitive space. But when you're winning it in the classroom, that is to be celebrated too. So never want to discredit that the academics piece is Michigan State student athletes going to work in the classroom.
Man, we got some smart athletes, man. Smart athletes. You do. I've been to a couple of events where they talk, all the people that have over 375 stand up. I mean, it's like a whole athletic department. Like, what? Wait a minute.
They'd be like, what am I not doing? That's the academic peer pressure is real.
Just stand up too.
Yeah, like you'd be like, you'd be mad, but it's your fault. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly. I mean, congratulations to all the Michigan State athletes that are doing that, man. Get that other 1%. They're going to set records here for sure. 91%. Incredible. Look, we'll be back with more mess. Look, we have some stuff to talk about. We got to talk about men's basketball, fellas. What's been going on there? Otis, you were at the game on Tuesday. I'm still trying to work hard enough to get able to download Peacock, so I didn't see the game.
But
I want you to tell us exactly.
You can get my login straight.
All right. Let's work it like that, Jim. See, that's my guy right there. Come on. It's time to drop the stacks and those tickets.
Got every other subscription, but you want to be.
Let's go. IHOP and SeatGeek right now.
IHOP and Wonka are dreaming up a magical new menu. Magnificently mouth-watering items like Wonka's perfectly purple pancakes, the fantastical Wonka burger, and of course, Hover Chalk pancake tacos. Every good thing in this world started with a dream, and now this one is a reality. Only at IHOP. Try the new Wonka menu for a limited time. Kids eat free from 4 to 10 p.m. And see Wonka, only in theaters December 15th.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Well, fellas, I mean, you see it right here on our lower third. MSU falls to 4-4. 4 losses have been to teams currently ranked, however. Is there cause for concern?
I wish we could do a flashback to when Chu said, "Hey guys, relax." But I feel like we can't relax because it's the mode of play that we're seeing on the court. Like, it's the element of the simple things or the same things that win ball games: the rebounding, the energy on defense, the tangible things that you can control. Seems like we're losing that spunk. We're losing that grittiness. Now, when I say losing it, I'm meaning like from start to finish competing versus starting the game and getting down 10 plus, and you're constantly trying to battle back to get into even, and then we don't have enough juice to then close the deal out. Like that right there, and this early in the season, there's elements of what do we need to change? The questions I know are doubts coming in of, is it the players? Is it the coaching? Is it the system? And we know time and time again, Coach Izzo finds a way to get the team to gel and get the team to be on the same page. But right now it's an element of, we don't know what is happening right now, because we put so much eggs in this basket, right? So much energy and juice for Tom and Coach Izzo to get this back on track for us, because it was a dog days for football season. You don't know. I think it is it's time to raise an alarm, not a panic button, but the alarm of the Big Ten is not a weak conference. Like, we are going to play Nebraska. Nebraska is not, even though they're not ranked, you're going to get the best regardless of Michigan State's ranked or not. And so there's an element of, I don't know, we have to figure out how to play on the court and play together and consistently start fast versus always playing catch up. And that Wisconsin game was just, they started out, 61% from 3-point, the 3-point arc. Like, what if you are the coach? If it's us, and like, clearly I played football, not at the level, college basketball, not the next level. But if you're getting scored on 3 points all the time, what would you do? What would you do to adjust to make sure you're competing and you're defending the 3 ball? And that's a question to both of you all. Like, no matter if you didn't play at that highest level, what would you do?
Are they defending the 3 properly? Because it seems like the defensive rotations are out of whack from what I hear. And you see that in Michigan State teams coached by Tom Izzo early in the season. You do. And for whatever reason, it just he puts them together, man. I don't know how he does it, but over time, I don't know if they get in better shape or if they mentally learn, the flow of the game to where things start to click, because it seems like they're digressing a little bit right now, as far as their output from what we saw even in kind of the preseason. But one thing I know will hold true is you never count out Tom Izzo. You just can't do it.
I get it. You can't do it. I want you, you can never count him out because he finds a way. He finds a way. But, why are the pressure and, just the stress of going through it to find a way of, now, find it now? I think that's the element. Find it now. So, go ahead, Chu. What's your take? Because you're watching the games, too, clearly.
So, back in November, we came on here. We lost a couple games, and I told everyone, relax. Now, I'm like, relax? Relax?
You don't believe it.
A couple things. I think our big men have to play like big men. All right? We need to find a presence in the paint. We have to be big in the paint. We're putting a lot of the go out there and be the guy on Tyson Walker right now. He can only do so much. Our bigs have to play big. They have to come out and show up. Mahdi has to be there. The other big boy, he has to be there as well. Hogart has to come to the party as well. All those guys have to come to the party and play. We have to
together come to the party together.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I want to take a Uber. Right. I want to get there early. Somebody want to get there half.
We had a thing that old school Michigan State basketball. There was that accountability factor. Players were coaching each other on the court. There were, Coach Izzo could sit back a little bit. He could do his thing on the bench, but on the court, players coached each other. We have to get back to that point of the players taking control. This has to be a player-led team. Right now, I feel like there's just a lot. It's a shit ton of talent on this team. All right. And right now we're playing as individuals. We're playing as 5 fingers right now, each finger doing a thing. But like that movie, you ever see that movie, Soul Food?
Yeah.
You remember? And Big Mama said, as individuals, we'll be okay. But when we ball that fist up, we can strike a mighty blow. All right. So that's what we have to do right now. We have to come together and strike that mighty blow. I think there's a lot of things that's playing into factor right now. I think one, someone said it in the chat here. The Breslin Center is not a fear factor anymore. The Izzone, they're not the 12th, the 6th man on the court at that time right now. The Izzone's getting a little soft right now. They got to get back in there. The Breslin Center has to get that energy. Make it a tough place to play. Make it a place that when people come into the Breslin Center, they fear coming into the Breslin Center, or they come in awe of playing in the Breslin Center. That's something that has to happen there. The second thing.
You saying that the Izzone need to bring it. They
Izzone needs to bring it, and not just Izzone, all the other fans too. They have
okay.
long as well. You know,
Challenge.
they can't just leave it on the ism. They need to be a terror for the opposing team in there. And our bigs have to come to the party. We have to play together. And I said this last year. Izzo needs to bring back the suits. He needs to start wearing the suit again. All right.
I'm seeing a lot of that traction out there.
Izzo needs to start wearing the suit again because it's a business.
You get too comfortable. You saying that's what you're saying?
On his way home, he can put the sweats on. Coach Antonio will tell us, we're going to the game, we're wearing suits. It's a business trip. On the way home, you can put your sweats on and relax. Izzo needs to put the suit back on and coach that way. The next 5 games, we have Nebraska, we have Baylor, we have Oakland, we have Stony Brook, we have Indiana State. This is an opportunity to now come together and gel and make a statement. Spartans should be 4-1 at worst coming out of these next 5 games. They should be 4-1, if not 5-0. You know, but the worst case scenario right now, Spartans should be 4-1. And if they can do that and be 4-1, build that momentum, have that consistency of wins. That's something that they haven't been able to have. The consistency of what it feels like to win game in and game out. And then they can carry that over. Like, oh shit, this is a lot of fun winning games, not these ups and downs. And the thing is also, they have to start out fast. Yeah. A lot of people say, oh, we're a second half team. No, you have to go in. You have to play from the get-go. You're athletic. Get some transition points out there. Run. Use your athleticism. Let your playmakers make plays. Do those things, and they're going to be okay. But right now, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, holy shit, hit that panic button, we're not at a 10. We're not even at a 7 yet. We're 6.5 right now on a panic meter right now. We have a lot of time right now. You got to still trust in Izzo. I think what the case is also, Izzo is saying, you know, you're a player-led team. You guys lead the thing. But if I need to step in, it's going to be a different thing. So I think it's going to be a point now where he's going to need to step in. The fall break is coming up. They're going to be by themselves on campus, no distractions, all those things. So they're going to come together as a team, and you're going to start to see a run here. The next 5 games coming up, worst case scenario, 4-1.
Hey, listen, we got to give a kudos to Chew with a soul food reference.
Like, yes, we have to.
Hey, we got to give him.
This is kudos. Give him some of that.
Hey, I thought, look, when you was talking, all I was hearing is the mama song, Mama.
Oh yeah, and you can't go wrong with Nia Long in soul food.
Hallmark, hold on. She was a diverse man from Hallmark Channel, the Virgin River, to soul food. That is rain
on me.
Hey, when a man rubs his back of his hands, talking about Nia Long.
Yes, that Nia Long.
Oh my God!
Look at him. And we over here clowning. We clowning, but like, listen, the Izzo situation, there's a lot of people talking about the suit situation. I heard that he may need to let the belly out. Is that what somebody put in there? Like if he needs his old suits don't fit. I mean, last I checked, Izzo makes 6.2 a year. Been doing that for a long time. I think he
you can still wear your shoes, your sneakers with the suit. Like if you don't want to get you can still be nice.
I had a suit on today and I had some dunks on. We good.
Ooh, look at you. Look at you. That boy was walking so stiff he didn't want to get no skills on him.
You know he went in there with Andrew. But look, guys, so what do you think the answer is? Honestly, there's a lot of talk about, you know, is it the scheme or is it the players? You think, Chew, I know your point was that they're going to come together here when the campus empties out and they have no distractions and Izzo has them all to themselves. What do you think, Otis?
I'm torn because you see these guys ball, like you see the high level talent. You can see these guys play great ball. Is like, is it saying, hey, I'm gonna just let y'all loose, let y'all play what you bring to the table. Y'all figure it out. Like, you know what? I'm here, like the Chief said, I'm here. Like, what do you think we need to? These guys this is a veteran team. So you got obviously some freshmen, but you got vets that have played a lot of basketball. You know, hey, let's see what y'all can do. Open it up, go run, go play ball, and see what the difference is. I think the games that we have on the docket this month, besides that Baylor game, you know, it's tough to even say we have these games like weak opponents because, you know, James Madison came in and really showed us what was happening at home. So I think for me is like start to figure out ways to know the team, know the talent that each one is bringing, and like the system matches and gels with what you got. Because historically, you know, and we're going to have, you know, one of the former players, a lot of former players on to give their take on and break down. And I'm sure it's similar to how we see football and how, as a former player's perspective, and coach being here for so long, is like really want to get their take on it. Of like, yes, Jackson Kohler, somebody, you know, says that is a point getter, a bucket filler. That guy can get buckets and plays within the offensive system, getting the ball to our scorers. Like right now, you can't count on Marty and you can't count on Carson Cooper to get in the post, grab the basketball, dribble, and then find open guys and assist, be a facilitator on the block. Now, I feel that Malik Hall should step in and do that. Like, Malik Hall is trying to be a guard where, no, Malik, go in, buckets in the mid-range, and facilitate and make plays that way. So, I never want to discredit and discount a legend because, yes, he'll find a way. Like, this is the time to stack them up, find out what's happening, get us to jail, start to play like a team. It's going to happen. But you don't want to get to the end of December and we're below 500, and this Big Ten conference play when we start out in January is a gauntlet. So you want to get at least buttoned up this month and heading into the new year in that first game, January 4th, that we're rolling.
Hey, listen. We're going to be talking about MSU basketball. It's going to be heating up. As you said, a lot of basketball guests coming up in the near future. Guys, you know, before we leave here, we have to talk about the news for the day is that head coach from Michigan State football, Jonathan Smith, did announce formally where the coaching staff is for the moment. That was on all social media platforms from MSU football. I think we have a graphic. Here we go. Guys, you know, when you see it, you know, a lot of coaches that were at Oregon State, chief of staff, had strength coach, you know, the whole recruiting nucleus has come over. Missing from that list, guys, is the two coaches that we had heard that had been reported were I guess, retained, Courtney Hawkins and Harlan Barnett. Don't see either of those gentlemen as of yet on the staff.
Yeah, so one of the things that really sticks out on that list, if we can, Tony, put that list up for a quick second there. The Mike McDonald, all right, he's what sticks out to me, you know, in this. I think I'm excited about this because I don't think the past couple years, to be 100% honest, I wasn't happy with the strength and conditioning for Michigan State. I felt, you know, like went away from some tradition in the weight room and I understand technology and all that stuff, but I just felt we had a lot of injuries the last 3 years. And I think you can credit some of those things to the weight room as well. So that's what I want to get back to, the nitty gritty in the weight room, the grind in the weight room of that sweat equity, just getting after it. So that's what I'm excited about, to see what Coach McDonald, what he can bring to the strength and conditioning for these players to get them, you know, in a position to be successful on the field and stay on the field and play through the games, because I think we had too many injuries from strains, pulls, all these different things, and having that mindset as well. When we played, we had that Ken Manny mind, that was there. There was a different mindset. The way that we worked out, the way that we trained, and the way that we played was totally different than what it has been the past few years. So I'm excited about that. And these guys that's coming in, my advice to you guys as new coaches coming from the West Coast, never been to Michigan State, embrace it. Get out in a community, get out, eat the food, drink the drinks, meet the people, do all those things. Get out there and embrace it, because if you embrace it, Spartan Nation's going to love you. They're going to throw everything that they can there for you. Yes, they will still boo your ass if you keep calling jet sweeps to the short side of the field.
Yeah, they will. Yes, Lord.
Get out there and embrace it as well.
Hey, Lyle, as we keep going, though, that boy Sue going to sound like Dickie V in a moment. No, Sue got a point there.
No, awesome.
Diaper Dandy. Yeah, no, with to Chu's point, I agree. Like, yeah, I was intrigued by the technology in the weight room, but I think it wasn't used to see its full capacity from a standpoint of Coach Manny had me out there believing I am a Spartan. Like, I am a warrior. Like, regardless of like
workouts.
I start right, and I started like very under developed in the weight room. But as I got to senior year, like I transformed my body to where like I'm a gladiator. I'm going out there, and I had mentally too, like it was the mental things that Coach Manny would challenge us on. Like, you have to endure tough things in life. This is easy. So when adversity strikes, like, we're on the field, like, let's go. Let's strap them up, like bloody, bruised, whatever. Let's go. And I didn't sense that. Like, there were some guys like that, absolutely. But collectively, like, I didn't sense that. And like, to the point of, I don't know Mike McDonald, but when you bring your own guy in, you know that they got one accord from a standpoint of what Coach Smith wants and what these guys to look like. And Coach McDonald's going to have those guys ready. And I think that's the element of these guys being able to sit still, get out the portal, give these guys an opportunity to work your body and get you to playing shape mentally and physically. And let's see how we look in the spring.
Yeah, look, guys, I like that, the synopsis of looking at the strength coach. When you talk about Coach Manny, right? And I was in the room his first day on campus when he gave that speech, the legendary speech about, urinating. Anyway, I'll never forget this, right? He goes, like dog, not personally, but whatever, guys, you know what I mean? He says, he sat me down one time and I had a problem, an issue with how I felt that he was being soft. Okay. And he sat me down and said, "Sir, we can't treat guys the way that we treated you guys back in the day. If we did, we wouldn't have a team." And that's when I knew the Coach Manny that you and I, all three of us know, and you know how intense he is. And, he had to adapt to the times because it was evident to him, clear, that if you do, you lose them. So, to that point, I mean, Chew, look, I'm not saying that the strength staff that we had before was good. I ain't saying it. I'm not saying that. Or I'm not saying they're terrible. What I'm saying is the way the successful staffs that are out there now that are doing this, it doesn't look like it did with Coach Manny anymore. It's different, but there's still you have to find a balance. Within the technology that's there, within the new rules that don't allow you to push them too hard, to still excel. Because you do see it. It does happen across this country. You see them. So,
shoot, whatever Nick Carter on, everybody need to be on. That's all I say.
Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah.
But the thing is, with that Coach Manny point that you said there, Stray, I think that's a very good point that you just brought up. Like, we can't treat, but the thing is, we all felt loved by Coach Manny, even though he cussed us out. He did everything. But at the end of the day, he will put his arm around us and show us the way. So I think too, the players now, if you want to win, you gotta get some tougher skin too now. This ain't no beauty pageant now.
Oh yeah. I think that's what it needs to be. More of that, more non-conforming. They have to conform themselves. The players need to
when y'all first found out they wasn't doing no more winter conditioning in the early times, like with me, I'm like that separates the boys from the men when you got to wake up that early and you got to go compete and train. Like it sucked in, but you look at it from a standpoint, it was the old school, like, and if you missed, like you late, like it was accountability. Like I still get PTSD waking up thinking I'm late to something. You know what I mean? Like I still feel like I got to beat my alarm clock, like Coach Spanny says. I wake up every day to beat my alarm clock and say I got you and I'll beat you. Like starting out, like that's an element that I'm not saying like they got to go back to that, but they got to bring some of that toughness where you wrestling dudes in winter conditioning, where it don't look like it's crazy, like, but we did that. Like you see the Swamp Kings, you see Urban Myers and Florida Gators. We were doing that. Like we were out there going hard, puking in trash cans, and wrestling. And it's early morning, 5 a.m. and you leave and you got to be in your class at 8 a.m. if you have one. Like that was the dog days, but it helped. It helped us when we got on that field. And that's all I want to say. But I know we're running longer, so that's going to be another day.
No, look, guys, I think those are great points. And we have the staff that was formally, again, announced today by head coach Jonathan Smith. There's still some building that needs to go on, so namely, everybody's talking about the defensive coordinator. A lot of smoke out there about is this guy, that guy, who knows? We don't know. And I think that is something that the defensive players are watching intently as well. So, there hasn't been much movement since the fireworks of last week as far as entries into the portal. So hopefully it's kind of slowed down and we may start to see more influx, guys. What do you think before we get out of here?
I mean, we got to have that decision, at least give us some transparency, because you don't want to lose some of the key players as they waiting on what type of system we're going to run. Like you can't guess that, you're going to bring Oregon. Yeah, you're going to bring Oregon State's D coordinator over, but he should be announced just like everybody else. So you can't sit there and look at what they're running because you don't know.
I'm sure there's some talk.
Right. That's what. Right. There's probably gonna be some stuff. Yeah, there's gonna be some stuff
internal. Like, hey, this is where we're looking. This is what we're planning on doing. This is who we're looking at internally being said to the players, especially the key guys like Jordan Hall, Jacoby Widman, Tatum's, all those guys, those key players. I probably have sat and had conversation with Coach Smith, and he's saying, hey, listen, you guys are going to be focal points of our defense. You guys are going to be, it's going to be driven through you guys. So just stay patient and go from there. For all I know, I heard in the streets there, Otis Wiley is going to be up for the DC position.
There it is. Wiley for DC. I love it. I love to put another hat on. Oh, you can do that. Because look, there's all kinds of stuff that we have yet to cover.
Might be in the portal, but might be the portal for you. Yeah, give me here. Might be in the portal,
Guys, man, we better get on this thing. Producer Tony, and he gonna be mad. We're over hour 13 right now. He wants 45-minute shows.
Man, we do our best. We apologize to anybody who thinks that we went over, but good. For Jehuu Caulcrick, Otis Wiley, I'm Jason Strayhorn. This is Sparta MSU, everyone. Have a good night. God bless you. And go green.
Go white. Go Army. Go Navy. Beat Army.
You said it the right way. This is Sparta MSU is a combined presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. The show is produced by Tony LaBarbera, Tony Gustella, and Process Driven Consulting. Additional support is provided by Brendan Duravage. On-location technical support provided by Good Fruit Video. Be sure to follow our host Jason Strayhorn, Jehuu Caulcrick, and Otis Wiley on social media. To stay up to date with all the latest This is Sparta news, please like and subscribe by visiting our link tree and tell a friend to do the same. Thank you for your support, and as always, go green.